Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. It's coming home, England against Croatia, Dallas. Dun, 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 dun. Every time we score, I'm doing that because we're in Dallas, aren't we? Hurricane! Oh, get ready, get ready. This World Cup has been brilliant. I don't know. I just want to say a personal thank you to Lionel Messi, by the way, because doing that 2 a.m. watch along last night, 3 in a row, you're live at 3 a.m. and I tell you what, I had bags under my eyes. You could use them to go and get you shopping. It was tiring yesterday, and Messi woke us all up with an incredible hat-trick. Portugal were a bit shit, but it's the turn of England. It's the turn of England. You've got to hold and give, but do it at the right time. You can be slow or fast, but you must get to the line. We're singing for England. This is it. It's going to be Harry Kane's day tonight. Very, very excited. Let me know what you think about the team news, of course. Very excited about that too. But look, I think we've seen France. We've seen every decent team now. Spain, France, Brazil, Argentina. Some of them look good. Some of them look dodgy. I think it's England, hardest game of the group. We don't need to go out there and batter them. It would be good to go out there. You know what? I would rather us lose. I would not lose. I would rather us draw 2-2. And show really good system football than win 1-0 playing shit. I think it's really important that we do show, put on a show in a sense tonight, which would be great. Thank you everybody who's tuning in, by the way. Thanks for all the follows on TikTok. Thanks everybody who's sharing on YouTube as well. We are sponsored by Boyle Sports on the show, and I have got a bet builder. Did you take advantage of your £5 free bet builder with Boyle Sports that we've been talking about the last couple of days? England's first game of the World Cup. This is That's Football, and we're working with Boyle Sports on this stream. Throughout this tournament, we are working with Boyle Sports, and we put together a bet builder for this match. So a bet builder is where you accumulate different things in under one bet. So it could be red cards, corners, goals scored. This is mine. England to win. It's coming home. Harry Kane to score at any time. Under 3.5 goals. Morgan Rogers over 2 shots on target. I know he's not on the pitch at the moment, but I'm expecting him to come on. So it's boosted my odds up a little. And Stanisic to get booked. And I think he's playing at right back. So there's a good chance that could happen with Stanisic up against Anthony Gordon and maybe even Marcus Rashford later on. So I'm happy with my bet builder. Give it a go yourself. And we've also got a bit of a question for you here. No prizes. Who scored England's goal? Who scored England's only goal the last time they beat Croatia in a major tournament? I'll give you the answer to that in a little bit. And for tonight's game, Boyle Sports are giving you a free £5 bet builder. So you can do your own bet builder like mine with a free £5 bet. €5 if you're in Europe, in Ireland. Log into Boyle Sports, opt in, claim it, or if you haven't got yet signed up to Boyle Sports, go through the link in the description or scan the QR code next to me. Make sure you put loyalty and patriotism aside and pick with clarity of thought this World Cup. Bet with your head, not with your heart. Don't let your emotions muddy the waters. As always, it's 18 plus, UK and Ireland only. Please bet responsibly. Terms and conditions are in the description and via the QR code on screen. Remember, my bet builder is England to win, Kane to score at any time, under 3.5 goals, Rogers to have over 2 shots. I know he's on the bench, but he can still come on, and Stanisic to get booked. If you want to have a free £5 bet builder, go through Boyle Sports and link is in the description or scan the QR code. Thank you to them. Right, this is the next controversy. England. What are your thoughts on this team? Let me know those thoughts. James Page, Adam and Ron333, thanks for your follows. I will be standing up for the England game. Obviously, I'll hire up the desk. Otherwise, all you're going to see is my... Well, I would say moobs, but for a man of my age, there ain't no wobble there. Look. Nothing. It's tight. No moobs. There's a little bit of a... No, to be honest, it ain't bad. You know. Anyway, it's not men's fitness. It's a watch along. So, England team. Share the video. We've got nearly 7,000 watching already. This is going to be a huge stream. Get involved. Right. So, England team. Pickford in goal. James, Konza, Stones, O'Reilly. Anderson, Rice, Bellingham, Madueke, Gordon and Kane. Some people not happy about it. Ultimately, what is it you're not happy about? I think he was always going to go with Anderson and Rice. Between Bellingham and Rogers, I think most people would say Bellingham. I personally think I might have gone with Rogers if I'm being honest. But, you know, that's not a massive surprise. Madueke is simply playing because of fitness problems with Saka. It's a big tournament. So I don't actually have a huge problem with that. Harry Kane's obviously going to start. Gordon over Rashford. Personally, I would have gone with Rashford over Gordon, but Gordon did do very well in the friendly, so, you know, it's not the end of the world. Stones over Gahey. Yeah, I mean, I have a bit of a problem with that. I mean, Pep chooses Gahey over Stones. So why is Tuchel picking Stones over Gahey? He's not massively reliable either. But look, I trust Tuchel. I'm not going to second guess him. I would have gone with Rodgers over Bellingham. I would have gone with Rashford over Anthony Gordon. I would have gone with Gahey over Stones. So I would have made 3 changes. But I trust Tuchel. In Tuchel, I do trust. So, you know, I'm happy with it. I'm okay with it. Clean as a whistle, they are. Actually, that's a little bit not clean. Should have done this before. Really. Why is it so misty there? Ooh, it gets dark. These wipes are terrible. They are not. These are not very good. I mean, this is not great entertainment, I know, but glasses problems, everybody will tell you. Just used a clean wipe on them, and it's just moving it around. They're even worse. This is the problem. I can't bloody see properly. You shouldn't have to use 2. Players are out on the pitch. Look at that stadium. I mean, I would look. I can barely see. It's just a load of blur to me at the moment. We'll get there. We'll be there. Here we go. This one's going to work. Yeah, that is very good. That's much better. Phew. There we go. They're clean. That's it. We're ready to go now. Players on the pitch. Are you going to sing the national anthem? Do I look like I'm going to sing the national anthem? Do I look like I'm going to sing the national anthem? Absolutely not. No. If it was Jerusalem, bring me my sword. I don't know the lyrics. Lyrics to Jerusalem. Here we go. God, why are you putting a fucking ad blocker on? Bring me my bow of burning gold. Bring me my arrows of... I don't know that song. I thought I did know it. Oh no. Anyway, forget it. I've messed that up as well. I messed my glasses up and I've messed up the song Jerusalem. But I'm very excited. That's probably what it's all about. Huge game for England here against Croatia. We haven't spoken about the Croatian team. I do feel like that would be a decent thing to do. Vuskovic playing at centre-back for them, the number 22. He's on the screen at the moment. Fantastic season for Hamburg on loan from Tottenham. Very good player. Vardiel's playing as well. Livakovic in goal. Sutalo, Stanisic, Perisic, Modric, Musa up front is an interesting player as well. I can't remember who he plays for, but let me get that. Dallas. He actually plays for Dallas, and he's only 28. So Peter Musa up front for Croatia tonight. Was at Benfica, went to Dallas in 2024. Big game for him. Look, I have a feeling this might be a score draw. I do. Don't ask me why. I think it might be a draw. But the most important thing for me is the big thing for England in this tournament, and I've said it time and time again, is the ability of, or the utilisation of Bellingham. No doubt, Jude Bellingham is a fantastic player. However, you know, do we get the best out of him? That's always going to be the question. Do we get the best out of Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham when they play together? Because I don't think we necessarily do. I don't think Bellingham and Kane, I think the jury's out. So if this is going to work, I think Morgan Rogers works better. So I think we've got to get the best out of that one, to be honest. Thank you for your super chats, by the way, and thank you to Harry and Denzel on TikTok for your follows. Why Gahey and Saka not starting? Well, Gahey's been dropped, Hamoud, and Saka, I think, is struggling with fitness. O'Reilly to score, says Mrs. Stone. Lilo and Stitch. Surprise Stones is starting, says Andrew. Come on, England, says Jared. Let's not get bogged down by Portugal. Remember, Messi lost the first game of the last World Cup to Saudi. Ronaldo and Bruno are going to win the World Cup, says Rajaf. As the lone Croatian here, good luck, says Ronnie. I've got nothing against Croatia. I think it might end up being a draw, to be honest, but hopefully it'll be a win. What's your prediction, Mark? I'll bet it, says Grand Prairie. I think it'll be a low-scoring game. Croatia, I think, will be quite defensive, and I think it might be a draw. Welcome to the Members Club, Daniel Thompson. And if you can bet on one thing this match, what is it? Says Luke. I would bet that neither team... No, I'll be a bit better than that. Harry Kane scores. Harry Kane to score is what I would bet, yeah. No, Rashford is crazy, says Martinez. Thanks for the follow, Sam and Blaze and Fred. Appreciate you. A draw incoming, says Lee Berman. Thank you, Lee. Hope you're doing well. Just shouting out all the follows on TikTok. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are on YouTube. We're on 1.48 million. We're actually on 1.484 million. We're only 300 subscribers from 1.485 million, which would put us 15,000 subscribers away from 1.5 million, which is what we're going to try and hit during this World Cup. So be part of this amazing community. We've done so many watch-alongs already. We were up at 3 o'clock. No, we were up at 10 to 4 last night watching Messi score his hat-trick. So this is the place to be for World Cup community and chat. Please do subscribe and get involved. It's only just starting for England, and we are very, very excited by this. Have you had a drink, Mark? I have. I was down the pub for some Heineken earlier on, and I may have a little drink as the game goes on. But look, it's time to go to work for England as well. It really is. We know there is an opportunity here to... I think you can psychologically get in the heads of other countries. And if we can go out there and put a good performance in, like France did and Argentina did, and put yourself as part of the equation and put a statement out there, I think this is our hardest game. I mean, I'm not saying Ghana will be easy. We've seen that the African teams are strong. Congo getting a draw against Portugal, of course. Ivory Coast beating Ecuador. Senegal were very good in the first half as well against France. Cape Verde with a draw with Spain. So, you know, I think Ghana could be difficult, but I think on paper, Croatia are our hardest game. So here we go. It's time. We've been waiting for this. This World Cup has been fantastic, but it's the time of England now. This is where the emotional notch goes through the roof. Declan Rice to kick us off. England in the World Cup in Dallas. What are them two big windows for? I don't like that. See them two big windows in the stand? I don't like that. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Waiting for the ref. And away we go. I've clicked the wrong bloody thing. I'm an idiot. Timer's broke. Why, in a game of this magnitude, have I not clicked the timer at the right time? Right, I'm going to have to wait now until the timer comes up on the screen. We've got nearly 12,000 watching on YouTube already. Get sharing your videos, get your comments in. Get sharing the video, get your comments in. Croatia probably going to play with 3 centre-backs if we're being completely honest. England, a flat back 4 under Tuchel. Ignore the timer for a moment. I'm a twat. I've got it wrong. I will have it right for you in a moment. I'm just waiting for it to get to 48. Johnny says it's not windows, it's a door. It's a bloody big door. What we've got to do, absolutely non-negotiable, and Tuchel will know this, is we have to get the best out of Harry Kane. Literally one of the best players in the world this season. we've got to, you know, everything's got to be built around getting the best out of him. And that means Bellingham, Gordon and Madueke have got to try and play like Musiala, Diaz and Elise. Everything they do has to be about supplementing him. I don't want to see Kane dropping deep and Bellingham, you know, getting in his way. Good pressing game by Croatia here, and they're going to win a corner as well. Straight away. England a little bit sloppy at the back. It started with John Stones pissing about and tried to play our way out and ended up giving a corner. Bit sloppy there by England. Hutchie and Jeno, thanks for your follows. It's on ITV today, which is good because we don't have to put up with the green screen of the BBC. Shopping centre where I work is starting to quiet down, hoping for a dead last hour to focus on the game, says Flora. Come on, England, thanks for the service you do. Yeah, I mean, England, Flora, England does tend to shut down when we're on the telly in a major tournament, so hopefully you'll have a good last hour. Modric is a legend, doesn't age at all, says JBS. It's a good corner by Croatia, and on the back post, there was half a chance. He ballooned it over the bar, but half a chance there for Croatia. Are you doing Ghana versus Panama, Mark? Says Honey. No, I'm not doing any other games tonight. No, I was. Last night was a big one through till 4 o'clock in the morning, and obviously when England play, it's quite emotional. I've got to do my match reaction and stuff. So, what's the capital of Croatia, Mark? No looking, says Augie. I would say the capital of Croatia is Zagreb. At a guess. BRM says, I discovered your wash and go ad for the last World Cup. Wow. Which one was that? I don't remember that one. Danny, Kale and Charlie, thanks for your follows. And Nanas. Have I done a bet builder, Mark? Says Stealth. I have. I've got Kane to score at any time, England to win, less than 3 goals, Stanisic to get booked, and Morgan Rogers to come on and have 2 shots on target. Keith says, I wish Lewis Hall was at left back. I tell you what, it's actually nice to be stood up for a watch along. I can only stand up if it's like a big game. You know, I'm like Lukaku's first touch. I'm everywhere. So United games, I always stand up. England games that matter, I always stand up. I can't not. Here's Madueke. What I want to see from England is something to be proud of. I want to see an England side that goes out there and really, you know, exerts itself with good football. I mean, we've got the players to do it. Declan Rice, what a season he's had. Harry Kane, what a season he's had. Even the likes of Elliot Anderson, Reece James. You know, Anthony Gordon plays for Barcelona now. Bellingham. I never even mentioned Bellingham because I just feel Bellingham's sort of got to show us what he's all about. Good running from Anthony Gordon there. Press him in. Press him in. That's really good running from Anthony Gordon. What's the weather like? What, where I am? Dallas weather. 33 degrees at the moment. There is a heat alert. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Dallas at the moment. So it's very hot. 33 degrees. Thankfully, there's no thunder warnings at all. Tell you what, though, it's going to get hotter. I'm looking at Dallas at the end of the month, and 34 degrees. 34 degrees. It's hot. It's hot, you know. Ing says benching Saka for Madueke. He hasn't benched. The stadium's air conditioned. Sorry, it's got a roof. Yeah, it'll be fine then, won't it? It'll be like Qatar. If they've got the roof on, it'll be absolutely fine. It's a good point. And I should have been able to tell if they've got the roof on because you can just tell there's no sun beating down. Marge says, hello, Mark. Thank you for spreading so much joy. Well, thank you for being part of this. Mrs. Stone says, Kane's dropping deep. There's nothing wrong with Kane dropping deep if Bellingham runs past him. Oil Cruiser says, I hope for your sake the back line holds up. Thanks for all the early super chats, by the way. And thanks everyone who shared the video. So, first 6 minutes here. Exactly the sort of game I would have thought. You know, I think this is going to be a bit of a game of chess. Croatia, experienced, will be well organised. As I say, my prediction was 1-1. And I don't, you know, I don't think that's necessarily a terrible result for England, but I just don't think Croatia are easy to beat. I agree with you, Dirty Harry. I think Bellingham has got a lot to prove in this World Cup, certainly. Look, I did that video with Rory Jennings on Sport Bible, and I said, look, it's not my job. I'm not the England manager. I would like to see Bellingham next to Rice and Rodgers as the 10. I think Bellingham could give us a lot more creativity deeper, and I think Rice and Anderson is a little bit cautious. Although he's done really well here. Madueke got a bit of time. He's very wide though. Into the box he goes. Lots of Croatian players back. Reece James, not a great cross because it wasn't a great ball by Madueke. Kane gets hold of it, shoots, and I think he's won a corner. Yeah, we're in Dallas. I'm riding a horse with a lasso. Look. Dallas stays 100 degrees 9 months of the year, says Grand Prairie Cobra. And I feel like Pulisic is the missing piece for England, says Alex. England's backline looks like it could be had, Mark, says Cody. You don't get this on ITV. I think you know, here's a corner, and they're gonna. Ooh, he's given a penalty. It's a penalty for England. He's given it. Trossard's given a penalty. Modric can't believe it. People are saying it's not a penalty. It is a penalty. Stone wall. Trossard's just given his mate a penalty. Oh, mate, he's absolutely kicked him in the nuts. Modric. Yeah, that's a penalty. That is 100% a penalty. The ball's come to Modric. He's gone to clear it, not knowing Madueke's running past him. And Madueke's got there, and Modric can't pull out. And he's kicked him right in the nuts. And it's Harry Kane. Ronaldo couldn't score. We had 2 goals from Haaland last night. We had a hat-trick from Messi. We had 2 goals from Mbappe. And Harry Kane here in the 9th minute. And this would be a dream start for England, you know. In these types of games, when you're up against well-organised teams, you want to score early so that they open up and you can hit them and exploit the space. Harry Kane. Ah, it's a stonewall penalty. I'm going to run a poll. Was it a pen? Kane steps up. He won't miss this. He's missed it! Oh, no! Harry! Harry Kane! He's not happy about something. He wants to take it again. He wants to take it again. Trossard's having a look. I think it might be a retake. Calm down. It was a bad penalty by Harry Kane. He doesn't normally hit them like that. He doesn't normally hit them like that. It's a retake. Modric can't believe it. Drama here already. It was a bad penalty by Kane. I mean, the keeper's off his line, isn't he? To be fair, a lot of goalkeepers do that. We've got away with it there. I mean, look, he's not that far off. I mean, technically, it's absolutely brilliant by Trossard. It is a retake, but a lot of goalkeepers do that. He wasn't that far off his line, and a lot of goalkeepers do it. 71% say it was a penalty. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. We've got nearly 20,000 watching on YouTube already. Thanks for all the follows on TikTok as well. It's a retake. People are going mad in the chat who aren't English. Harry, whack it. I've seen him in a Bayern shirt. He never takes a penalty like that. He never steps up and just goes like that. Just smash it in the bottom corner. He tried to be a bit clever there. Just smack it, Harry. You've got to get your penalties right in this World Cup. No pissing about. Do what you do in a Bayern shirt. Here he goes. And it's Kane! It's 1-0 to England. Harry Kane! Yes! Get in. 1-0 to England. He actually took it the same way. Did him with that. Went the same way. Keeper went the other way. England lead 1-0. And it's Harry Kane. Lovely stuff. He's up and running. The future Golden Boot winner in the team that's going to bring it home. It was actually the same penalty. He just hit it better with a bit more height. Up and running. That's good to have Harry Kane up and running as well. Strikers feed on confidence. And as I said, Croatia, their plan would have been to be well organised, maybe be good on set pieces. It was a penalty, it was a retake, and it was a goal by Harry Kane. England leading 1-0 in the first 12 minutes as well, which is a very good start for us. Some people are saying rigged, and yet 68... I mean, how can you say it's not a penalty? You get kicked in the nuts in a penalty box, and it's not a penalty. Come on. Come on. The retake, I feel a little bit... If that had happened to us, I'd be moaning about it, because every goalkeeper moves, but it was a penalty. I think the retake is a fair conversation. I mean, every goalkeeper does that. And if in this World Cup they don't want them to do it, then, you know, we'll have to get used to it. But every goalkeeper does do that. We need to expose ball in behind with this Croatian defence, says UK Ajaxa. Retake was because of Vardiel being in the box, says VBA. I didn't see that. It wasn't the goalkeeper, it was encroachment. Well, there you go then. Yeah, a lot of people saying that. It wasn't because of the goalkeeper, it was because Vardiel was in the box. Well, there we go. Thanks for all your super chats. A French ref and 2 French officials is rigged, says Thomas. Yeah, the French don't like the English. What's all that about? Have you ever watched Eurovision? We never get any points. 0 points. It was a penalty, but it wasn't a retake, says Daryl. Very lucky. Jason says, I'm cheering for England for you. You're busting your arse doing all these games. Thank you, Jason. Let us know where you're watching from, everybody. Up the England. Shut up the rest of you, says Tried Golf. VBA says it was because Vardiel was encroaching. Thank you very much. Well, look, Croatia have got to open up a little bit now. It's a little bit like the Norway game last night against Iraq, where Norway scored quite early on. Oh, I tell you what, they were nearly in as well. Good defending by I think it's Jude Bellingham. I mean, I think Croatia are looking for a penalty. That would have been very soft. It's a corner to Croatia. It's so insufferable how people just call anything rigged, as if any country would help rig it for England. Exactly, Rich. Exactly. I mean, that's just never a penalty. It's a massive dive. Oh, he's given a goal kick. It's not a corner. VAR doing its job. Oh, my God. We're going to get so much shit here. People are going to say we're getting everything, but it's a lovely ball by Kane into Madueke. Run! Run, Madueke! Go on! Where are you going? Go on! Oh, lovely block there. Madueke's being a cheerleader, but Anthony Gordon's saying, why don't you pass me the fucking ball? What a ball by Harry Kane. That's what he can do. He needs runners in behind. I think Gordon wanted the cutback, didn't he? Yeah. Thanks everyone who's subscribing, by the way. We're only 100 away from 484,000. Please subscribe. Get involved with That's Football. You're all very welcome here. England leading 1-0. And we're controlling the conversation at the moment, which, you know, we're not going to play scintillating football for 8 games. Some games we're going to have to control the situation with a strong midfield, a strong defence. Rice with the corner. Edge of the box. Anderson. Blocked. Goes all the way back to Pickford. Rami, Ian, Sadiq, Wolves, Tao. Thank you very much for the follows. Tamello, Jacob says who scored? Kane. He hasn't done it again. Kane scored. Madueke's getting a bit shit. Look, Madueke serves a purpose whilst Saka gets back to fitness. This is clever by Tuchel. Saka's clearly not quite ready, so don't waste him in the early rounds. Do you think Harry Kane could win the Golden Boot? I think the Golden Boot's going to be a very, very exciting race. I mean, Haaland, Mbappe, Messi, Havertz. I mean, I think they're all in teams that can score goals. Are you doing the Colombia game, Mark? No, I'm not doing anything else today after this. Tomorrow I think we've got 4 watch-alongs for you tomorrow, but no, I'll be exhausted after this. And the Heinekens I had before it will probably take their toll. But we've got loads of late night ones coming up over the weekend and stuff. Brazil, Haiti, some cracking games coming. But look, a World Cup's great to watch, but if you've got your country in it and they're doing well, it makes it even better. So England here, 1-0 up. And again, there was a game overnight that we probably not discussed. Austria started their World Cup with a 3-1 win against Jordan. Schmid, Al Arab own goal, and Arnautovic scoring the goals for Ralf Rangnick's side. So they got off to a good start last night as well. Dominated, really, the possession. But they both had 11 shots on goal and both had 4 shots on target. So, Austria just a little bit more clinical. Jordan didn't do too badly. Austria are in the same group as Algeria and Argentina, Group J. Do 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 do. Lovely ball in behind. Oh no, Reece James doesn't get there. I'll tell you what, shout out to all the English fans who are all around the world as well. I've had messages from mates who are in bloody the Maldives, Mallorca, bars abroad, by swimming pools, big screens. That's what it's all about. Enjoy it. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. We've got over 20,000 watching already. Keep the sharing the video and getting involved. When would Saka be subbed in? Says Amen. I mean, look, I don't know what injury Saka is carrying at the moment. So I think it's, it's clever to just be very, very careful and manage his minutes. Because we don't need to rush him back, do we? No United player in the England 11 makes me sad, says Hypochondriac. Well, no Liverpool player in the entire squad. Need to start Rodgers from now on. Jude can't carry the ball, says Baltier. Killen says VAR is useless. Kane fails his penalty, end of story. There are so many bad rules against keepers on penalties. Ref already seems to favour England, says Killen. No, apparently it was an encroachment from the Croatian defence that caused it. Thanks for all your follows on TikTok as well. Juice and Hi. Appreciate that. This stadium's got 108k capacity. I don't think it has. Skull says it's hard to manage Saka. Ogre says, do you think England can win the World Cup? I think it's coming home. I don't want to bore people, but I said Arsenal would win the league at the start of the season, and they did. And I said England would win the World Cup. Dallas can hold 100k. I did not know that. D says, you're a legend, biggest and best. Come on, England. David's watching from Turkey. Mo Farhan, thanks for the follow. Well, the good thing about England now is, look, we've got the win. There's still a long way to go, but we can dictate the play. We can play at our own tempo. As we know, there's a lot of experience in that Croatia team, and but experience means age, and we can dictate this game and be a little bit more patient in our build-up, waiting for opportunities. That's good play by Anthony Gordon. Unfortunately, that switch of the play is not good. Lisa says, thank God for you, Mark. Lee Dixon is awful. Oh, mate, I tell you, I mean, I don't know. I was watching him against... I think they've given the retake because of the goalkeeper. I don't think it's encroachment. Looking at it there. Hydration break. I think it is because of the goalkeeper. I don't think it was keeper off his line, as William said. A lot of people saying it was encroachment by Vardiel. I genuinely think it was the keeper. And Harry Kane did say it straight away. But yeah, hydration break there. Thoughts on the first 20 minutes? Look, ultimately it's England's first game. You want to get confidence is something that we've suffered with as an England team for years. You know, we can be slow burners in a tournament. We can never get the rhythm going. And I think that, you know, whether there's controversy or not, it's a good start for us. And Croatia aren't really doing anything on the attack. So I think for us, when you've got someone like Harry Kane who can drop in and look for those balls to Madueke and Gordon, I mean, I'd be confident we can get the second goal and, you know, really build on this. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the commentary on mainstream, which is why you should be watching this anyway. But I had the Portugal game on earlier, and I just think Danny Murphy's crap as well. He's so bloody miserable. It's just so miserable. What's she doing with the chalkboard? It's not the 80s. She's playing noughts and crosses. No, she's not. She's not. I genuinely thought she was playing noughts and crosses for a minute. Noughts and crosses in the hydration break with ITV. There we go. I don't know whether... I don't know what she was saying, but yeah. I mean, ITV, I'm sure they could have budgeted a better graphic than a chalkboard, but there we go. We'll move on from that. I think what Emma Hayes was saying is the wide players, Gordon and Madueke, need to keep making them runs because we're winning 1-0 and Croatia are playing a back five. So they've got 3 centre-backs centrally, and we can then their full-backs aren't going to sit back in a back five when they're 1-0 down. So let's exploit those flanks, which Harry Kane's very used to doing with the likes of Elise and Diaz for Bayern. Would you rather have Palmer on the right wing? No. Look, Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, Harry Maguire, you know, these are good players, and I don't think it necessarily comes down to picking good players. I like Tuchel. I trust Tuchel. I'm excited about this England team. I think we can win a World Cup, which is a major statement, I know. I trust him, what he's doing. And I think what he's doing is he's building a squad. And Madueke gives you direct, and Arsenal fans know this. Is he as good as Saka? No. What does he give you? Direct pace. Direct pace down the flank. And I think that, you know, is what we need. Cole Palmer, is he direct pace? No. And this is why I like Rodgers better than Bellingham sometimes, because Morgan Rodgers just gets the ball and runs past Harry Kane, whereas Bellingham, a little bit more technical. Rice and Anderson are doing well, yes. Nearly 22,000. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Is anyone user 2026? Is anyone else's ITV app down? I don't know if anyone can tell us about that. Can you do a poll whether you should watch the Turkey game? Says Adam. Well, we don't need to do a poll because I can tell you at half time what I'm doing. And it won't be changing. Susan, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Hi, who is the best team at the Emirates, England or Croatia? Says Ali. If you know, you know. Thank you, Telly. I want Anderson at United so bad. Yeah, well, United have messed that one up, PS4, haven't they? Did Ronaldo get a hat-trick, says Oil Cruiser. Mate, I posted it on my threads. This Ronaldo ain't no Messi. And I got loads of shit for it. I mean, look, I've said it before. I said it on the United stand this morning. I don't get the Ronaldo versus Messi thing. I like them both. I always have loved them both. I don't think Messi hits the heights he does and Ronaldo hits the heights he does if they didn't have each other competing with each other, especially in the Real Madrid-Barcelona games. I love them both. I think they're brilliant players. Some people do either ors. Some people embrace both. I embrace both. Mrs. Stone hates the hydration breaks. Lord Harkey says, VAR decision said goalkeeper encroachment on the screen when it was checked. Commentators said Vardiel encroached as well. Clear on that replay. I go with the goalkeeper for me. I think the goalkeeper was off his line. What I would say is that happens a lot. AT&T Stadium can be reconfigured for 100,000 seat capacity, says Alpha. Yeah, it's the Dallas Cowboys here. We've done loads of watch-alongs on this World Cup. Sometimes we're doing the 2 a.m, so make sure you subscribe or give us a follow and get involved. We were live for Messi last night, which, you know what? Croatia are in here. It's Vuskovic bringing it forward, but it's Harry Kane who gets fouled on the edge of the box. I was there. We were there at 3 o'clock in the morning watching Messi score a hat-trick. I think the stadiums are great. I think the atmospheres are great. I think it's got a proper World Cup feel, and we're not even in the first week yet. Well, we are in the first week. We've not had the first week yet. It's fantastic. And, you know, this is another amazing stadium here in Dallas. I'm getting too excited. What were your thoughts on Portugal, says GB? I thought they were, I wouldn't say they were disappointing. I thought they were typical Portugal, a little bit like, you know, it's Roberto Martinez. I think he's a pretty boring coach. Do you remember Perso, says Lost Water? I feel like I do, yeah. Sack Martinez, says Move Maniac. Cheers, Mark from Montana, says Jay Reynolds. Thanks, pal. How is Gordon a thing? Get Rashford on, says Delgado. Look, the great thing about this World Cup is, and we've seen it with every country so far, is that we will see substitutions. You know, we're not going to stick with the same 11 all the time. We'll see Morgan Rogers. We'll see Marcus Rashford. We'll see Mainu. We'll see Gahey. We'll see players get used. Marge says, can you explain what a cowboy is? I think they herd cows on horses. Good defending by England again. Why has YouTube made the UI look so big now? Looks ugly. Don't know what that is, Recon Guy. Hi, Mark. Do you like Tuchel, says T-Rex? I do. I like the fact that England have got a coach that I respect, who is a top coach. Definitely didn't do that with Southgate. Makes me feel more confident. I'm sure Brazilians feel the same about Ancelotti. You know, you can have good players, but if you haven't got a coach that inspires, I think it makes a big difference. What do you think about City pushing for Tonali, says Christoph? I've not heard anything about that. That would be news to me. Nick P says, Emma Hayes with a chalkboard in a kitchen, diabolical work. I don't think she was in a kitchen, mate. I mean, she was on a balcony with New York behind her. Maestro, Nabs, Arnie, 4X, HUFC13, thanks for your follows. Good play here by Gordon to win it back. Bellingham needs to move the ball quicker, and he does. Gets it into Gordon, lays it into Rice. Now it comes to Kane. He switches the play out to Madueke. This is good play by England. Madueke puts a cross in. It's a good cross. Bellingham goes down. He wants a penalty. For a moment there, I thought he was going to get on the end of a cross, and it would have been a brilliant team goal by England. The way they worked it out to Madueke. The cross comes in here. And, well, there is no check for another penalty there, but the Croatian defender definitely made a move, and Bellingham definitely went down, but they don't seem to want to show us any real proper replay of that one, which is a bit of a shame because they want to get the game flowing in this tournament, but I would like to have seen that again. I can neither confirm or deny it was a penalty, but I'd like to see it again. Who shot JR was TV history. The world was wondering, says Carlo. Here it is. Cross comes in. No, not a penalty. Not a penalty. Well, it's a good start by England. Always knew this would be a tight game. My prediction was 1-1. Don't forget, actually, we're sponsored by Boyle Sports. You can get a free £5 bet builder by signing up through the QR code or going through the link in the description. A bet builder is where you take a few things and put it into one bet. They all need to happen for your bet to come in. I've got one tonight. England to win. Well, we're winning at the moment. Harry Kane to score at any time. Yes, thank you. Under 3.5 goals. Oh, we've only got one. Morgan Rogers over 2 shots on target. Well, let's see what he does if he comes on in the second half. Stanisic to get booked. I'm halfway there at the moment. I'm halfway there. Don't forget, I did ask the question, who was the person who scored the only goal for England in the last time they beat Croatia in a major tournament, which was 2022 in the group stage. Sorry, 2020 in the group stage. Got another question for you. Kieran Trippier scored in the 2018 World Cup semi-final to Croatia, but who scored the extra time winner for Croatia? See if you can get those 2 questions. Don't forget, you can back yourself with Boyle Sports. 18 plus, UK and Ireland only. Please bet responsibly. Terms and conditions are in the description and on the screen. Some people are getting these questions right already. I will deliver them at half time. To be honest, you know the 2018 World Cup, we lost to Croatia in the semi-final in extra time. We were never going to win that final. I don't know how we got to that bloody World Cup semi-final. Didn't we have Lingard playing then? It's a poor clearance by Bellingham. But he's got it now. He waits for Madueke. That's the ball. There it is. It's a good weighted ball by Bellingham. Madueke, where's he going to go? Cut it back. Cut it back. Cut it back. Will you cut it back? Ah. Reece James puts the cross in. Headed away. Why didn't Madueke cut it back then? It was there. You could see the cut back into Bellingham's path. Getting a lot of the ball, though, Madueke. Plays it into Reece James. Cross is decent. Ooh, good defending there. I thought Kane was going to get on the end of it, but this Croatian defence is good. Remember, the goal was a penalty from a Modric kick-out. It's a good Croatian defence, and they are well organised. Tyler and William 1012, thanks for your follows. I tell you what, I feel like this is the slowest game I've watched so far. Every game in the World Cup has gone really quick, but I think because it's England and we're winning, it's going slow. Somebody made a good point, a couple of people said it, about England's defence. Do you think it can get exploited? I mean, I would go Konza and Gahey personally, but you know, I've seen England under Southgate play with 3 centre backs, so I'm more than happy that we're playing with 2. United SXLs says, "What's your thoughts on Mainu and Rashford not starting?" Mainu shouldn't be starting. You know, I understand that it should be Anderson, Rice, and Bellingham. Got no problem with that. Rashford is a little bit more borderline. Croatia in the box here. Good layoff. Good shot. What a goal. Yeah, it's a good goal by Croatia. You can't argue about it. I feel like the complaints about England's defence being a bit weak We're exploited there. It was all a little bit easy. Jude Bellingham goes down under contact, looking for a foul again. Don't know whether it was a foul or he's just been weak. And then, you know, where is everybody here? It's a lovely finish, but for me, it's a little bit simple for Croatia there. He gets the ball. He's got time to lay it off for somebody to take a shot. And I'm telling you now, if you're a professional footballer and someone lays the ball to you moving at the edge of the box, you'd expect to hit it on target. It's a good hit. But I think England there is a little bit too easy for me. And it's 1-1. Back to reality. There goes gravity. Disappointing. It was disappointing because I just felt it was it was a great finish, but I felt it was a little bit easy the way they got through us. We go again. Madueke reminds me of Adama Traore. He's all pace, says Marcus. Thank you very much for that. Asaya Jalal, thank you very much for your follow. And Matt as well. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We've got over 25,000 watching on YouTube. England now 1-1. From a position of comfort as well. We've sort of given it up a little bit. We're only 50 subscribers away from 485,000 on the road to 1.5 million, by the way. Please do subscribe, get involved. We're doing loads of World Cup watch-alongs. Obviously, this is England's first. Look. We've had a penalty and not a lot else when we think about it. And Croatia have scored a goal from open play. Static is the word I would use defensively there. It was all a little bit slow for me. There wasn't enough intensity to get the ball and close people down. It just looked a bit too easy for Croatia. Oh, here we go. I've got the ball in the box. Now I'm going to lay it off and I'm going to have a shot. No one was really busting a gut to stop it. But look, Croatia are a good team. I don't think they're going to win the World Cup, but they're an organised team. Commentary ITV is so over the top and biased, painful to listen to if you aren't English. No wonder other nations don't want England to do well, says Ross McRae. Does this feel like Southgate, says Richie? No. Premier League Player of the Year, Declan Rice, looked utterly lost there, says Baltier. Why are we playing Stones instead of Gahey, says Time Lord. Why was Gahey not picked, says Frankin. You guys would be so much better if you had fluidity in the midfield. As a neutral, I don't get how you expect to control the game. Mainly needs to play. Well, look, what tends to happen with England TTH is that does happen. There's people who come into the team as the tournament develops, and you know that there is a possibility that could happen later in the tournament. You know, Rashford could break his way in. I'm not a big fan of Bellingham and Kane in the same team. Both good players, but do they work well together? Why does everyone have pink boots, says Marge. Hello, Earthling says, do you not think Mainu could contribute sufficiently to this team? He may not be on the same level as the starters, but I think he can bring something special. Fair point. At least it's called up Trevor Chalobah, says Danny. And Alpha says, honest evaluation is England still have not shown up for the World Cup. They need more urgency. Mainu will work his way into the team, says Robert. Mate, I think when you look at the first 40 minutes, if I was on that bench, whether my name's Rashford, Gahey, Saka, Mainu, Rodgers, I'd be thinking, I can get into this starting team. You know, in a way, having the hardest game first isn't necessarily great for these players if they don't perform, because if you come on and do well and you keep your place against Ghana and Panama, you're in for the rest of the tournament, aren't you? 85th Cousin says, we don't play as a team. There's too many look-at-me players. But I think this is exactly the problem with Bellingham and Kane. I don't know whether it's about ego or whatever, but they don't work well together. It's almost like there's a battle to be the full, the focus of the team. And the focus of the team should be Kane. Everybody else should be polishing his boots, running around him. Claire Boulding's been non-existent. Who's Claire Boulding? Oh, Ben, I know who you're on about. Yeah. Corner to England anyway. Looks like we might be going in 1-1 at half time. Rice whips it in. Kane! Get in! Harry Kane! 2 goals for Harry Kane! It's Kane! Get in! 2-1. That'll do! That'll do! Where are the doubters now? That guy. 2 for Kane in 45 minutes from a corner. Whoop! There it is! Whoop! There it is! Whoop! There it is! And dun, 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 dun. We're in Dallas. Lovely header. He's bringing his Bayern form. This is what he's been doing for Bayern all season. Come on. Lovely goal. That he is the difference maker. It's coming home. Yes. Star of the team. Star of the team. Everything has to go through him. Everything. One more and he's up there with Messi. Set piece again, says VBA. Move Maniac says Jude's great, but Madrid personally is ruining him. Thank you very much, pal. Right on half time as well. That'll. I'll tell you what. If it had been 1-1 at half time, we'd have gone in a little bit low. Now, if we go in 2-1, Croatia go down a little bit low, and I want the second half. I think when you're playing these teams like Croatia, they're going to be well organised and they're going to look to, just frustrate us. It's harder to do that when you're losing. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Please do share the video. Over 26,000 watching on YouTube. Thanks for the follows on TikTok from Trulls as well. Appreciate that. Jeremy says, get Gordon off. Well, look, I think Marcus Rashford in the last half an hour could fill his boots, if I'm being completely honest. As I said, that Croatian team could get tired. There could be goals for England. I mean, look, I said there'd be less than 3 goals in this game. We've already had 3. And here's, nearly. We're only 20 subscribers away from 485,000 on YouTube, by the way. If you are on YouTube, please click and subscribe. Let's see if we can hit that. A couple of minutes away from half time. Probably be about 5 minutes added on, actually, because you get 3 minutes for the hydration break and there was the penalty. But look, calm down. Don't be an idiot jumping around singing Dallas and it's coming home. I can't be doing with any of those types of, prats. We don't need any of that. This is a 5-week job, an 8-game marathon, and it's about growing into this tournament. Lovely play by O'Reilly into Rice. Gives it him back. O'Reilly needs a ball. Gordon into Bellingham. Wins a free kick. Croatia getting a bit frustrated. Put Mainu in for Bellingham. He cannot pass, says Spa. No, I think for me, Mainu would have to go next to Rice or Anderson. Bellingham position, I would want someone like Rodgers or a bit more attacking. Almost all star players are delivering so far, says Mark. You know what? We very rarely get a World Cup like that. I mean, this could be, dare I say it, one of the best World Cups we've ever had. Messi hat-trick, game 1. Mbappe 2 goals, game 1. Haaland 2 goals, game 1. Harry Kane 2 goals, game 1. Incredible crowds, incredible stadia, incredible buzz around the tournament, and we've only had 6 days of it. It could be very special, this World Cup. Could be one of the best we've ever seen. Robert McCormack says, I've done Kane to score brace and hat-trick bets. Well done, mate. You'll probably score 4 now. Kane versus Mbappe versus Messi versus Haaland, says Mrs. Stone. Well, it does add another angle to the tournament, doesn't it? If you've got the big players delivering. Ronaldo didn't score, no. So the chat just said the referee is the 12th man for England. Five minutes added on. Insane to me how we're just coming on a week tomorrow. I know it's felt very long, Kiru, hasn't it? It has felt like a long week. But I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. We'll talk, if we get time at half time, remind me, I'll talk to you about the schedule for games of watch-alongs we've got to come over the next few days. You've got to pace yourself on that as well. You know, some of them, you know. I've got to admit, during that Argentina game yesterday, I was struggling. If Messi hadn't scored the hat-trick and it had been a boring 0-0, I think I'd have passed out from tiredness. Harry Kane could score 4 goals in this game, says Franklin. And that's what helps you win a golden boot, because everyone thinks, well, you know, it's against Panama where he'll fill his boots. But, you know, if you can get a hat-trick against Croatia, and then you've got, on paper, easier games to come. To be honest, though, I just want Kane to score lots of goals and help England get through and win it all. I do think Mbappe and Messi look like they're going to score a lot of goals. Even Havertz for Germany. The way they're set up, it looks like it will. Rudolph the Red says, I've watched every single game. My sleep pattern is fucked. Yeah, but my problem, Rudolph the Red, is that if I watch a 4 o'clock game, if I don't go to bed till 4:30 because I've watched the 2 o'clock game like last night, I'm up at 9 because I have to do the 10 o'clock show. So I'm only getting 4.5 hours sleep, and it is a bit. I've got to work out a way because I just can't sleep in the day. I've never been good at it. I tried that Navy SEAL sleep thing. It didn't work. Just hurt my back. Oh, Kane's been caught late there. We do not want Kane getting injured. Yeah, that's the... Ooh, shot from distance by Croatia there. I'm sorry, nothing beats Qatar World Cup, says MGT. I think this has beaten it already, mate. I genuinely think this is the best World Cup I've seen in probably... Certainly, I think Brazil's the only one that comes close to me. I just think it's got the lot. And also, the football's brilliant because the referees are making every goal kick be... Have you noticed even the goal kicks get taken quickly? Like, you know, in the Premier League, goes out for a goal kick. Oh, well, let's all have a chat. Let's make a cup of tea. Everything is so quick. Anthony Taylor is doing the Uzbekistan-Colombia game. Oh, God. Don't forget Balogun's got 2 goals for the US as well, says Alpha. Yes, yeah. Recon Guy says, I've seen a post about the hydration breaks that there's proof they're actually going to change them. They're changing the momentum of the game. Well, mate, whether they are or they aren't, it's a part of the game, isn't it? You know, it's going to be here for the World Cup. And I suppose that's probably a fair thing to say. In a sense that, you know, we're just going to have to put up with it. And maybe that's one negative about the tournament. Oh, no, no, no! Fucking hell! Right on half time, you bunch of pricks! You absolute bunch of idiots! We're 5 seconds away from half time! We're 5 seconds away from half time, you bloody morons! What are you doing? Why are you stood there with your bloody dicks in your hands? Idiots! What are we doing? He might be offside. Ooh, he might be offside. I tell you what, that does not deserve to be offside because the movement was brilliant by Perisic to play it in. We might get away with this. He might just be offside. The movement's fantastic, but England's defence looked like a bunch of bloody cartoons. The Simpsons sat on the bloody sofa watching the TV. He's crying, the Croatian striker. I'd hate it if it got ruled out because he'd be really upset. It's been given. Oh, come on. That was offside, mate. How have they not given that offside? That looked offside to me. I thought the referee had the check. Oh, don't you mess about. Well, we can't be conceding goals like that. I'm sorry. We cannot be conceding goals like that. I thought he was offside. Where's the VAR check? Well, we'll have to wait on that. It was a very, 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 very quick check. They didn't seem to want to... They seemed to want to get in for half-time. The worrying thing for me... Look, the positives are Harry Kane is one of the best strikers in the world. The negatives are that England can't hold on to a bloody lead. And Croatia ain't Brazil, France, Argentina. And they found it quite easy to create two very good goal-scoring opportunities. So, yeah, not happy with England's defence. Maybe, just maybe, we should be using Gahey and not Stones. Konza and Gahey have played together all England qualifiers, basically, and we change it for the World Cup. Somebody said they can check the offside at half-time. I think that'd be very controversial. Imagine that. You're a Croatian. You think it's 2-2. You go off for a piss and a hot dog. You come back and it says 2-1. And you're like, did I dream it? No, they've just said it was offside at half-time. Of course, it's not going to be offside. It looked offside, but I presume the angle, they got it very, very quickly. I told you Gahey should have been picked as Franklin. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Louis, thanks for your follow on TikTok. Thanks everyone who subscribed, by the way. We are only 5 subscribers away from 485,000. So please do click and subscribe. Get involved, everybody. The home of football watch-alongs is That's Football. Loads of them to come for you. So make sure you're getting involved with us. Please do subscribe if you're on YouTube, or give us a follow if you're watching on TikTok. Nearly 30,000 watching. What are your thoughts? Look, there's the stats at half-time. 9 shots for England, 2 on target. 4 shots for Croatia, 2 on target. 50-50 possession. I think we should defend better. I think we should be defending better. What's worrying me is we don't look very good defensively. And that's not something I normally associate with England. I mean, it's great that we're scoring goals, but we shouldn't be conceding goals like that. And what I will say about that Croatian goal, by the way, I think England's defence are stood around like they're holding the dick in their pants. You know, what are you doing? Scratching your arse. Perisic is about 92 now. It's good movement by him, but we're static. Or it's a training ground routine. He angles his run, little flick, back to the player. We're not marking him. It's poor. It's poor defensively from England. Absolutely poor. Midfield's a little bit open. I still think, as good as a player he is, the balance with Bellingham is not the same as the balance with Rodgers. Anthony Gordon's not in the game as well. You might want to bring Rashford on. We're not using the left-hand side. We're using Madueke a lot, but we're not using the other side. But I'm disappointed with England there. I don't think we should be going in at 2-2. I think when you score 2 goals in a World Cup game, you'd expect to be winning, not be drawing. And defensively, we've switched off twice. So very, very disappointed by that, if I'm being completely honest. Croatia's going to win, says Marity. Maguire would have cleared that easy. Defence is a joke, says D. Gordon's done nothing. Get Rashford on, says Ryan. This is why that moron Tuchel should have bought Slabhead, says Ian. 2 open for Croatia. England score Arsenal style, says Kiru. His foot played him on. You could barely see it, says Ian. Should have bought Maguire, says Mikey. I told you Gahey should have been picked, says Franklin. Not having Maguire is a mistake. Lots of people talking about Maguire. That was from Sayer as well. Should United sign the number 10 from Argentina that scored a hat-trick yesterday, says Tora. And Nick P says, let's not forget, at this scoreline, Southgate would park the bus for the rest of the game. Let's see if Tuchel goes for more. People overrate Qatar because of the final, says Adrian. And have you listened to David Goggins' audible marks as spam? No, I haven't. Would you make any changes at half-time? I mean, I'm looking at it back. The penalty's the penalty. I'm not going to look at that. My prediction is we'll win this game because in the last half an hour, we can bring on people like Marcus Rashford, Saka, Morgan Rogers. And if we keep moving the ball the way we have done, we should be able to hurt them. But I do feel that Bellingham and Rice and Anderson need to get hold of that midfield a little bit better. Modric is 40 and he's pretty much running the midfield from there. So I do think that we need to do a little bit more in the midfield. We are playing a little bit deep when we're in front, Harj. I think that's fair to say as well. But you know what? I do think that... Sorry, I was just looking there. There's something said. Look, it's 2-2 in a World Cup game. As I said, before the game started, I would rather England draw a game where we do a lot of things right and learn from it than, you know, win a game 1-0 in a crap game. But for me, look, it's just too static from England's defence. John Stones jumping in was poor there. Rice hasn't closed him down quick enough. It's just a bit, and Pickford should save that. Pickford actually gets a full hand on that shot as well. So, look, there's a few things about that goal for me that aren't quite right. John Stones jumping in, hasn't played a lot of football this season. Declan Rice could have closed him down a little bit quicker, and Pickford could have saved the shot. I think Pickford should save that. We were saying about the Zidane, the goalkeeper last night for Algeria. And I think, you know, Jordan Pickford should probably save that. So, yeah, lots to learn for England. But I still think we'll win it. But the thing that worries me is we've got to sort this defence out. You know, we do need to be locking the defence down in future games, because if we don't, we'll be coming home. You know, you play like this defensively against Argentina or France or Spain, and you'll be coming home. Simple as that. It's worrying how poor we have been defensively. I want to see this the equaliser. Here it is. So we've got a good back line here. We're trying to play an offside. Perisic makes the run. Konsa's caught out. Yeah, it's too easy. I mean, he looks offside to me there, but I think Konsa's foot plays him on. I mean, that is the sort of goal you see on the training ground. It shouldn't be happening in a proper game. Nothing Pickford can do about that. Nothing at all. And yeah, he's definitely onside. It's the foot of Konsa that plays him on. So yeah, disappointing from England there. But look, plenty of time to turn it around in the second half. We can make substitutions. I think our substitutions are likely to be better than what Croatia can offer. And better to learn these mistakes now than later on in the tournament. Certainly better to learn them now. But it's been a bit of a roller coaster, if I'm being honest. And the highs of Kane getting 2 goals sort of brought back down to the world by a bit of shit defensive football, if I'm being completely honest. And we need to do a little bit better there. Thanks for all your comments. Let me just get back to it. Thanks for all the follows on from Phil and Parko and Haruki on TikTok. Legends, appreciate you. That's good. Let me get the live chat back. But look, my prediction is don't panic. Last half an hour, the Rashfords, the Rodgers, maybe the Sakas, they can come on and make a really big difference for us in the second half. Pickford's technique is poor. Top hand saves that. I think he should have saved the first goal, keeping it real, definitely. Do you think FIFA will adopt Wenger's proposed offside rule? Hope not, Huncho, because it's fucking shit. Headband is fighting for its life. Saka now, says MGT. How is Anderson doing, says Keel. He's all right, but I think the midfield actually could be doing a little bit better. Who's been better, says Marit. Look, 2-2 is probably the right scoreline, isn't it? Croatia have scored 2 legit goals. We've scored 2 legit goals. Marginally, I'd like England to be winning, but banter aside, as a neutral to this game, I would like to see Kane win the Golden Boot, mainly because I think he deserves it after the season he's had, says Tiger Valley. 40-year-old Modric is dominating your 500 million midfield, says Manu. Croatia score 2 open play. How are they underdogs, says Royne. England is too talented to be playing a double pivot of Rice and Anderson. Play Bellingham at 8, like Madrid, Rodgers at 10, and play bloody football. I applaud this. I've been saying it for months. Drop Bellingham deeper, bench one of Anderson and Rice, and put Morgan Rodgers as a 10. Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't need two pivot midfielders in a World Cup. Get Madueke off. Saka, he kills every attack. Madueke, says Hamoud. Croatia will humble England the longer the game goes on. Their mentality is better. That alone is better than English depth, says Joe. Mark, what did you think of the Portugal game? Typical Portugal, really. Didn't really deliver. England needs Norman, says Alguero. If you know, you know. When a fan's going to realise Pickford's a liability, says CMT, gets a hand to it and should have saved it. Positioning awful too. I'm glad. I'm glad you've said that, mate, because I didn't notice it on. When it was scored in the game, I didn't pick up on it until we saw the replay. Absolutely should have saved it. Absolutely. Isn't this just Southgate ball 2.0? Says Josh. No, because with Southgate we would have gone 1-0 up with the penalty and parked the bus. We're probably trying to play a little bit more open, which is why we're conceding more goals. Gosh, we look nervous again from minute 1, playing around at the back. Gordon's not had a sniff. We will get a thrashing from teams like France, says Hannah. Croatia's going to win, says Marity. Thank you very much for that. Jason says, why is the defence so bad? Personally, I think Gahey should be playing over Stones. I don't really know why John Stones is in the team. And you speak to Man City fans, it's Gahey who starts, not Stones. So I don't really get that. And maybe that has caused, maybe it's for experience, but maybe that has disrupted things a little bit. Wayne Phillips says, hi, Mark, you legit saved my life. Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Wayne, for being part of this community. You're a legend. Thoughts on Trent not in the squad and Madueke starting, says Peter. Well, Madueke's starting because Saka's not fully fit. Trent not being in the squad, only him and Tuchel know that. Why do you guys keep playing Pickford? He's average. We don't really have anybody else, Ben, if I'm being honest. Patrick says, I don't think the back four is up to scratch. Blowing the lead twice, doesn't that remind you of United, Mark, says Ashish. And also, let's go Croatia, it's not coming home, says James. How come England doesn't play with a DM, says Alex. And let's all laugh at England, says Just Pasty. You've got no love for your host then, have you? Or everything we've been through. You can dislike England but want us to do well for me. But no, there's nothing, is there? There's no compassion at all. I think we're going to win it, but I am a little bit concerned about that. I don't like it when you get in front twice and you give up the lead twice. There's a mentality block there. Brandon and Jax, thanks for the follow on TikTok, and Gabby as well. What do you think about Madueke, says Bill. Look, Madueke is what he is. I don't mind Madueke. I think it works the other way round quite well. Last 20, 30 minutes, he's very direct. He can be quite frustrating. I would concede he is quite frustrating. However, who else are we going to use? I mean, I'm looking at the bench for England, and obviously you've got people like Eze, Rashford, Rodgers, and that's it. Maybe we should have took Rio. There's no other winger other than Saka or Rodgers or Rashford to play on the right-hand side. Which is probably, Eze could go there, but yeah, I think
he can do a job there, but in the latter stages, you are going to need Saka to be fit, really. Otherwise, we're struggling. Why do we play... sorry, let me just get rid of this twat. There we go. Why do we... Congo deserved to win against Portugal. They played good at counter, and I believe they got screwed, says Bailey. Dean Henderson's is a better goalkeeper, and he's not starting, says Kylie. Surely this isn't our first choice lineup, says Simon. Why do we play Stones instead of Gahey in defence? We look so shaky, says Tom. I think Konza doesn't look as confident with Stones as he did with Gahey. How come England doesn't play with the DM, says Alex. Thank you very much. Wouldn't have conceded those goals if Maguire and Shaw were at centre-back, says Tom. Oh, my God. Maguire and Shaw at centre-back for England in a World Cup. Put the drink away, mate. You've had too much. US punditry is Crease, says Zach. Thank you very much for that. Thanks to everybody who's tuning in. Thanks for all the follows over on TikTok and on YouTube. Please do subscribe. We have gone past 485,000 and we are getting close to 1.5 million up there. So please be part of the community. Lots of watch-alongs. I did tell you what we've got coming up as well. Let me tell you what we've got coming up as watch-alongs on the channel. We've done loads already in this first 6 days. So England tonight. Ghana do play Panama at midnight. I'm not doing it. And Uzbekistan play Colombia at 3 a.m. I'm not doing that. But tomorrow, 5 o'clock, Czech Republic, South Africa, we're live for that. 8 o'clock, Switzerland, Bosnia, we're live for that. And then 11 o'clock, Canada, Qatar, we're live for that. And then 2 a.m., Mexico, South Korea, we're live for that tomorrow. On Friday, United States, Australia is at 8 o'clock. We'll be doing that. Should be a good game. And then 11 o'clock, Scooby-Doo, Scotland against Morocco at 11 o'clock on Friday night. We'll be doing that. Brazil against Haiti at 1:30. We'll be doing that. And then people want me to do Turkey, Paraguay at 4 a.m. I will keep a watching brief on that for Friday. Saturday, Netherlands against Sweden is 6 o'clock. We're doing that. Germany against Ivory Coast at 9 o'clock. We're doing that. And then on Sunday, it's Spain against Saudi Arabia at 5 o'clock. We're doing that. And Uruguay against Cape Verde at 11 p.m. I think we're doing that. And then on Monday, Argentina against Austria at 6. France against Iraq at 10. And Norway, Senegal at 1 a.m. That's how we're looking for the next few days on the channel. England's next game is Tuesday at 9 p.m. where we'll be playing Ghana. So make sure you're subscribing or following and getting involved. Lots for you to get involved with on the channel. Right, players are coming out. Kane. Let me get my live chat back. Carl and Kazim and Jacob and Teflon, thank you very much for your follows. David as well. Croatia are ready to go. I'm glad that half-time's over. That's definitely been the longest half-time of this World Cup. It matters more when it's your team, doesn't it? I'll update you on my bet builder in a minute. Let me just get ready with this. Modric about to start. And away we go. And I got it right that time. There we are. So I think my bet builder's gone. Boyle Sports partnering up with us during this tournament and today. So a bet builder is where you have a few things part of one bet. They all need to come in, and if they do, you get your bet home. England to win. Well, we're not winning at the moment. Kane to score any time. I've got that right. Under 3.5 goals. It's already gone. We've got 4. I also had Morgan Rogers to have 2 shots. He hasn't come on yet. And Stanisic to be booked for Croatia. So my bet builder is done. If yours is alive, well done. Remember, 18 plus only. New UK and Ireland customers. Terms and conditions are in the description on the screen. Please bet responsibly. I did also ask you 2 questions with Boyle. Who scored England's goal the last time they beat Croatia in a major tournament? It was Raheem Sterling. Remember him?
Euro 2022 group stage. It was a 1-0 win. And who scored the winner for Croatia in the semi-final in 2018? It was in extra time, and it was Mario Mandzukic who scored that goal. So if you got that one, well done. I am going to stand up. I will stand up! What a goal! Hey Jude, don't break it out. Take a sad song and make it better. Have that. Have that. I didn't even have time to stand up. I'll sort the stand out in a minute. Come on. I'll tell you what, if Bellingham's delivering and Kane's delivering, then England are on their way. 3-2, 5 goals. This is the game of the tournament, and it's England. What a ball by Kane into Bellingham. Kane will get an assist. What a finish. What a finish by Bellingham that is. Beautiful ball by Kane. And England lead here. I'll tell you what, there'll be a load of corporate twats who are still queuing up for their beer and their hot dogs. Welcome to football. You need to be there at the start. You don't come down 5 minutes later because you know, getting yourself a burger. Shove it up your arse. 3-2. Oh, I tell you what, that's made me feel better right at the start of the half. 5 goals. I mean, this probably is the most entertaining game in the World Cup so far. And that's not something you normally associate with England. We're normally the big nation that bores everybody. And here we are again. Bellingham. Oh, keeper makes a save. We're all over them. We're like a bloody rash. We're like a bloody rash. I'm standing up. I'm too excited. Get it on. It's coming home. It's coming home. Well, that's a great start by England. I tell you what, I would never have thought this Croatia team would concede 3 goals. I never thought this England team would concede 2. It's a good sign for England if Bellingham and Kane are scoring goals in the same team, though, because that's always been my concern. Can they do it? Rice with the corner. Oh, who's that on the back post missing a free header? O'Reilly. How easy was this? Oh, to be fair, Vardiel was in front of him. Right, we know what we've got to do now. Not concede a goal. We can't do it 3 times. Don't concede a goal. What's going to happen is we're going to bring on Rashford and Saka and Rodgers for the last 20 minutes. And Croatia are going to get done on the break. And we're going to finish this game off at least 4-2. That's what we need to do. I'm being told it wasn't Harry Kane with the pass. It was Elliot Anderson. Well, shout out to Elliot Anderson then. It's hard because it's not Ultra HD. Need to calm down here. Game of the tournament so far. Mate, I don't know. You don't understand how proud that makes me feel. Every bloody World Cup, you wait for England to play and we're shit. We're really boring to watch. And now the world is watching. Why is it game of the tournament? Because it's end to end. They score, we score. We score, they score. There's not another hydration break for about 20 minutes, no. Thanks for your follow, James. Well, Croatia, we've got to be careful here. There's 40 minutes to go, and they have been very clinical. Where in England's best ever player list is Harry Kane? I mean, I don't know, Dylan. I don't know because, for me, you know, Harry Kane has played in... There's a break. Play him in! Gordon could have got Madueke away. They see what I mean about the break? think Croatia are going to have to be careful about that. Tom says, what's your thoughts on the hydration breaks? Haven't heard your opinion on it yet. I mean, I've got to be honest, I haven't minded them when we've been doing watch-alongs for other countries because we're always having a chat and a conversation. So, you know, we can have a chat during a hydration break. I've got to say, this is the first time I've disliked them. Oh, Rice with a shot. Keeper makes a save. We're all over them now. Dun, 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 dun. We're lasso. This is over. Don't get excited. We're all over them. Since we've scored 2 big saves by their goalkeeper. Yeah, but like this is the first time with the hydration breaks because it's like the team I support. I do find them a little bit frustrating. Go for it. Go England for Mark, says Jason. Thank you. Wearing England's best. What's your thoughts of the hydration breaks? From Tom. Which one is more likely? Portugal winning the World Cup without Ronaldo or Argentina winning it without Messi? Portugal have got more chance of winning it without Ronaldo. Messi's too important for Argentina, Sahaj. Ronaldo top scorer this World Cup, thoughts, says Niran. Well, he's already going to be 3 behind Messi and 2 behind Kane, Haaland and Mbappe. So I think he might struggle to do that. Rice, byline, another corner. Rub says, ITV panel just said England looks dodgy playing out from the back. The losers will always lose. Trust me. Trust the man Tuchel. Mate, I consistently back Tuchel. I like Tuchel. He's a top quality coach. England haven't had that, certainly with Southgate. And, you know, people might not like his passport. I couldn't give a shit whether he's from Germany, Iceland or Poundland. I don't really care where he's from. He's a top class coach and I can't think of many occasions we've been in a World Cup after 53 minutes, 3-2 up. Yes, defensively, we need to sort it out. But since going 3-2 up, we've had 2 chances to make it 4. Like, this is far better to watch. I've sat and watched England under Southgate with you for years. And yeah, we get to semi-finals. And yeah, we get to finals. But we don't bloody win them, do we? And we don't get entertained. We don't get entertained. This is entertaining. Kane brace, Haaland brace, Mbappe brace, Messi hat-trick, Ronaldo, says Soraj. If England only had done everything to get Elise, says Moses. Well, imagine, well, you don't need to imagine. 2 things. Perisic was off and Portugal red card, says Cramp. Yeah, I mean, I think Portugal might have been a little bit lucky. Oh, are we talking about the collision on the head? No, I don't think that was a red. I don't think it was. Constantine says, I don't think anyone is taken into consideration. This Croatia side came 3rd in 2022. Which top side has played a side as difficult as them yet, says Constantine. Croatia would start a Mainu over an Anderson, 100%, says Anthony. Here's Madueke into, that's another corner. Lulu and Kwame, thanks for your follows. Jeff as well. And Jarbin. Matthew Jacke, thank you very much. Welcome to the Members Club. England just needed to play on US soil to finally play well, says Food. What's your opinion on big European teams like Spain, Portugal struggling early on? It's only one game, Kieran, to be honest. And, you know, as I've said, you know, Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia and won the World Cup. You can definitely grow into a tournament. But having said that, France are going to be very confident and so are Argentina. And if England can win this, we'll be very confident as well. What a save! Oh my God. How did that not go in? Oh my God. England are all over them. This is fantastic from England. This is entertainment. It was O'Reilly with the header. Keeper makes the save. And then Anthony Gordon gets his hand there and the keeper makes another save. We're all over them here. Alistair, thanks for your follow. Another corner to England. I think we've had about 4 corners since we scored. Don't know what the referee's checking here. Play on. If you were not allowed to use Kane but were allowed to use Isak or Ekitike in the England squad, who would you see, Mark? Both fit, of course. Keeper does well to punch that. I think I'd probably use Isak, new HB. Score more goals in Thomas Tuchel's first World Cup than all Gareth Southgate's games, says Looney Tunes. I'm not surprised that's a stat. I don't know whether it's true or not. Kane, good shot. Their keeper's having a very good game. Keeper again. I tell you what, their keeper is working overtime here. I tell you what, in the last 5 minutes, I think we've had 4 or 5 corners and their keeper's made about 6 saves. Kane! Oh, God. We're pushing for this. We're all over them here. This is like the start of Cliffhanger. Stallone's holding on for dear life, but he's going to let go in a minute. They can't hold on to this, Croatia. They're getting absolutely pumped. And that probably is a true stat as well, that this is Thomas Tuchel's first game managing England in a World Cup, and he's already scored more goals in a game than Southgate ever did. No, it's not. It can't be true. Remember we beat Panama. No, it's not true. It's not true. It didn't take me long to figure that one out. Kovacic coming on. This is more like it. It's coming home, says Nagash. But yes, criticised Tuchel when linked with United, says Marvel. I didn't. I wanted Tuchel. So you're making that up. English, Matthew, thank you. Welcome to the Members Club. Cody says we scored 6 against Iran. Yeah, I think you're right, mate. There's a lot of people talking about that. Whatever Tuchel said at half-time, it's worked. We've had 18 attempts in this game, 9 on target. I mean, you cannot argue about entertainment. This is absolutely fantastic. Mexico versus Korea tomorrow, will you watch? I am planning to do that one tomorrow. Robert McCormack says, I know I'm biased, but how amazing is Harry Kane? Mate, best striker in the world. He's in that debate. You know, you can talk Mbappe, you can talk Haaland, but he's in that conversation. Like, he literally is. It's refreshing to see England still attacking even after going in front, says TK. Oh, yeah, I mean, Southgate would have parked the bus, wouldn't he? Definitely. So this is what an attack in England looks like, says TK Moon. Mr. Mister says, how far do you think we're going in this tournament if we continue playing like we have in the second half? Well, look, the big thing we've got to do in the first stage of this World Cup is build momentum, because obviously these players aren't together that much. So the great thing about this next month is that we build momentum and we build patterns, and we're starting to see a little bit of that already. We also must finish top of this group, which by beating Croatia, that will help. And also, you know, I think that's the main thing, is topping the group. Detecting says it's a shame our defence is poor. Gaddo, thanks for the follow. No, there's not a water break yet, not for a few minutes. Lars says, so we're all over them like a rash and Rashford isn't playing. I probably should stop drinking. Billionaire, thanks for your super chat. Shout out to RT2 for covering every match. Shame we aren't in it. Ireland, Modric, absolute warrior, says Thomas. Oh, if you're in Ireland, it's on one channel. Oh, the cameras love that England fan, don't they? The one who looks like a sad dog. You know what I mean? When I say a sad dog, I'm talking about, you know, you ever seen the film Turner and Hooch? I think he goes to every game or something, doesn't he? Rashford should come on. The players seem to play more freely under Tuchel, says Dino. Well, that's top coaching, isn't it? That's what top coaching is. What I would say is, it's only 3-2. We need to get that fourth goal because Croatia have shown this annoying habit of being able to come back. Billionaire says, from Kenya, we appreciate you, Goldbridge. Visit Kenya. I'd love to, mate. I'd love to. Would you bring Saka on? We don't need to. DJ, Johnny and Desmond, thanks for your follows. We don't need to bring Saka on if there is a concern about injury. We don't need to do it. I think people get a little bit impatient. Get Saka on, get this on, get that on. It's a long tournament. And, you know, I'd certainly, at 4-2, I'd be bringing Mainu on for one of the midfielders. I'd bring in Rodgers on for Bellingham. You maybe even bring Ollie Watkins on and give Kane a bit of a rest as well. You know, it is an opportunity in the group stage to give people a little bit of a rest. Because in the knockouts, unless you're 3-0 up, you can't afford to do it. Callum says, who would your first sub be? I think there's a strong case for Rashford. Anthony Gordon has worked hard, but he's not been in the game. I think Rashford, that position is probably, you know, the logical one. Livkovic as Man United's backup goalkeeper, says Mrs. Stone. Gentleman Chase says, I've been laughing at Mark for predicting England would win the World Cup, but I have to admit they look strong. Lots of depth off the bench. Mate, people laughed at me when I said Arsenal will win the league. Who was that with the camera? Didn't recognise him at all. What are your thoughts on the water breaks as one change, one place? As I said, when we're doing watch-alongs for non-England games, I don't mind it. For the England game, I found it a bit annoying. Good play by O'Reilly. But we can't be losing it there. This is where Croatia are dangerous, when we lose the ball in our own half. And it's a corner. So J.K. Worthing says, England defence is a worry. Just Klopp it before he got Van Dijk. Attack, attack, attack. And how nice it is to not be complaining about a ref. That's not a corner. That would be a goal kick. If VAR does its job, that's a goal kick. Yeah, spot on. Thanks everyone who's watching. Please do subscribe if you're on YouTube. Bottom right hand corner. We're on that road to 1.5 million, which would be great to hit during the World Cup. So get involved. Click and subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Loads of watch-alongs on this channel. I don't know how many games we've done already. I could probably figure it out. But lots more to come. The start of Game 2 week tomorrow. South Korea and Mexico. Oishan says, Anderson and Rice, only one is worth 100 million. Will never replace Rodri. Mark, please share your thoughts on the water break. Marge, I think... Does anyone want to talk about the water break? I mean, I think that's the thing I've been asked the most over the last week. Amen says, if Tuchel just adjusts the defence for next game, the team would look decent. Who would you change at the back? I would like Gahey. I think when you think about who we could be playing later in the tournament, certain Mr. Mbappe, I'd be a lot happy with Gahey in the back line. Kane's got 2, yes, Larry. Anthony Gordon down the wing. And Croatia clear that. What are your thoughts, everybody? Well, I think it's been a cracking game. They're about to make another substitution here, Croatia, another 2. We had a fantastic, you know, Bellingham's goal straight after half-time was so well timed. And then for about 10 minutes, multiple corners, multiple saves by the Croatia goalkeeper. I think at that point, it felt like we were going to kill the game off. But they've stabilised a little bit. They've rode the storm. And I feel like We need to box clever a little bit. There is a water break coming up. I'd be making changes around that time. I really do feel that because we're winning, Croatia in the last 20 minutes are going to have to try and get up the pitch. And the likes of Rashford and Rodgers and maybe Saka could be really important. Even maybe an Ollie Watkins, just a little bit of pace in behind. Mainu in the midfield, a little bit of composure. I mean, I'd be brave. I'd make 4 or 5 changes in the attack. Short-tempered gamer says, stuff the water break. I want to know if you've ever been to New York. Oh, no. I know he's winding me up. Gamaldo says, Stanisic is quality. Pickford fouled. Were the media wrong for questioning Jude, says Roy? No. I mean, Jude Bellingham's a top player, but in an England shirt, he doesn't necessarily work well in this team with Kane. So, you know, and look, Tuchel wasn't necessarily going to pick him. He has gone with Bellingham, so he's obviously seeing something in training. And if we see that, we'll be fine. Rich says, England's defence is terrible. I get it's the first game, but it's ridiculous. And Mr. Mister says, I hate the way they keep panning to celebrities. If I want to see Tom Cruise, I'll watch Mission Impossible. I'm here to watch the World Cup. Yeah, I don't really get the obsession with... I think you're completely... Maybe it's trying to appeal to a new audience. Because football fans couldn't give a shit about, you know, Tom Cruise or the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback. We're not impressed by that sort of stuff. You know, football comes with a badge of honour. Can you understand the offside trap? Do you understand what a number 6 does? We're not impressed by, Tom Cruise. You know, we're very opinionated people. So I agree with you. I've got no interest in a celebrity's watching our game. Fuck off. Go and write a song or do a film. I hate that, says Mr. Mister. Mark, please share your thoughts on the water break. Thank you, Marge. Prefer football shirts with or without collars? I mean, I like the 99 United shirt, but I've got to say, I don't like the French shirt, so I probably am without collar now. Dan says, do you know when the next water break is? Funnily enough, Anthony Gordon in the box. Good block. Funnily enough, it's going to be in about 90 seconds. Samsung says, best international side at the Emirates. If you know, you know. If you don't, you'll be confused. Barcelona wants a refund for Gordon. Morgan Rogers is coming on here. And Mainu. Mainu's definitely coming on. I saw him there. So it'll be interesting to see what he's going to do. Barca wants a refund, says Jack. Alpha says, I love the game, but I feel like England have gotten all the calls. No, I don't think so. I think England have been the better team, especially in the second half. We saw it with France yesterday. You know, first half, it was quite an equal game. Whatever was said at half-time, France came out and blew Senegal away. And I feel England came out, oh my God. I really don't think this noughts and crosses chalkboard. I mean, I don't have the audio, but I think this is crap. I bet they've asked Gary to do it, and he said, fuck off, I'm not doing that. What is that? Why are ITV using a chalkboard with chalk? Have they blown the budget on the background? I mean, what the fuck is this? I tell you what, they've just shown the onside for the Croatia goal. It was tight. It was tight. Those of us who thought it was offside, we are right. Water break is a grab fresh one from a fridge. Yeah, I mean, if you're having a drink during the game, the water break's quite good. I tell you what, before I did the United stand and stuff, I used to go, into town and go in bars and watch. That sounded quite sinister. I used to go into town, into bars and pick up... we'll leave it there. I used to go into town and, with hundreds of other people watching games or, be on holiday in a bar watching it. So a hydration break, actually, in an environment like that, I can imagine the rush to the toilets in the bar are massive. Another one that the Bitter says, what are your thoughts on hydration breaks? Going from Southgate ball to Tuchel ball is like going from porridge to a full English, says Tongi. My wife's water's just broke, says Mark. You've got to go, mate. That's not something you can put. I mean, you could put her in an Uber and say, see you later. It might bite you in the arse later on. Farmhouse kitchen units, says Nick P. Barca must be readying the bid for Rashford, says Mrs. Stone. Water break is to grab a fresh one. Love the stream, says Waffle. What are your opinions on the water break? Says Waffle. And best international side at the Emirates, we've done that. Saka and Rodgers coming on. Rice off. And Rashford on. And Gordon off. It's quite attacking. Southgate would never do that. I thought he was going to bring Mainu on. Saka, Rashford, Rodgers on. And I didn't see who he took off. Celebrities in the crowd are better than Emma Hayes, says Fia. It's not Emma's fault. She's working with a piece of chalk. Alexandra, are you going to do player ratings? I will do a player ratings on the match reaction. Yeah, it's a good idea. Becky says it's the test card girl. If you know, you know. 3 a.m. in India, but happy to see England playing well, says Govind. And Mark, I'm nearly 5 hours into my hydration break and wanted to say loving these watch-alongs, says Denise, even though I have red eyes from lack of sleep. Yeah. I mean, I'm quite lucky tonight. I don't have to pull in a early hours watch-along, so it's a chance to recuperate for some sleep. I think at some point you do need the night where you don't do a game past midnight just to catch up on a bit of sleep. But we'll be back on it tomorrow night. We've got Canada, we're doing the Czech Republic and Bosnia games 5 and 8 o'clock. But I'm going to do Canada at 11 and then Mexico, South Korea at 2. Keep players healthy in the heat. A break is good, says Brian. Sneak should have sponsored a watch along for the water break, says Rick. I mean, we could have been absolutely bombarded with all sorts of stuff for this tournament when you think about how many people are watching. And the opportunities, you're right. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. 27,000 people on YouTube. We've peaked at over 30,000 at times. Make sure you're subscribing and getting involved. It's going to be, I think this has got the potential to be one of the best World Cups ever. I think it's been a brilliant first week and long may it continue. And we've had some brilliant watch-alongs as well. Really loving that. Fadiq and Dissident and Jason and David, thanks for your follows on TikTok. Smart choice. Rice has played so much recently. Yeah, well, I quite like the idea of dropping Bellingham into the midfield. Rashford's nearly there. The keeper did well. So Rashford's gone to the left. Saka's gone to the right. Madueke and Gordon off. And then I thought he was going to bring Mainu on. He actually brought Rodgers on and took Rice off. He's put Rodgers close to Rice and he's dropped Bellingham into the Rice position, which is a bit unfortunate for Mainu, but it just shows you we can drop Bellingham into that position. Thank you very much for that. Hi, Mark. Really enjoy the Bundesliga YouTube ref cam videos. Really give an insight into refreshing games from the ground. I think the Premier League might benefit from long ref cam videos online. Go Harry, says the not so rich gamer. Space Cowboy says the hydration breaks are a must when you're playing under 60 degrees. Stay handsome, Goldie. And Denise, welcome to the members club. Thank you very much for your support. Have you heard the news about Jeremy Clarkson, says Stimpy? Yeah, I haven't really had a chance to read it. I mean, I was quite taken aback about it because I love Clarkson's farm. But by the sounds of it, hopefully he's on the mend, isn't he? But Croatia in down the right-hand side here. Shot straight at Pickford. It's a good save. Good ball by Anderson. Rashford's got to get his foot in there. Pickford will get hold of it. Nick P says, Southgate at this point would be arranging his 6 at the back and thinking about which cup of soup to have for dinner. No, he'd be sat there thinking, get my helmet on. I'm going on the Peloton tonight. Louis, thanks for your super chat. Haaland or Kane? I'm biased. Kane. Foot Cauliflower says, watched first half in the pub, but legs got tired, so came home to chill with you guys and watch us win the second half. Love the community. That sounds like a game of two halves, and you're very welcome back. Defence has been much better. Croatia goalkeeper man of the match, says the fan debate. Thanks for the follow, Jackson. Midnight. Cardiff 123 on TikTok. Thanks very much. Where's the beers at, says Adam. I tell you what, I did have a couple down the pub earlier. And then I fancied a cold Vimto, and I've never gone and got my beer. I'll send a message. We've got to be careful. I just want to say that. We have got to be a little bit careful. I don't want to see us conceding. It almost has the ingredients of a 3-3, doesn't it? We're winning this tournament, Mark, says Harry. Jason says, this is the best World Cup since Spain 82. And have you heard the story of the Scottish tourists drinking Boston Dry? Bars literally ran out of alcohol, says Aaron. Where's that come from? Offside. Rice was injured. We don't want to be picking up. I mean, look, Rice has had a very long season. You know, if you pick up an injury in this tournament, then you've got to be. You know, he could be out. 12 minutes to go. Well, I can't remember the trajectory for England is to play Mexico in the last 16 in Mexico at 1 a.m. I mean, the 1 a.m. thing doesn't impact us, apart from it'll be very late. But the altitude, that'll be a massive game. It'll be a home game for Mexico as well. But look, there's a long way to go before that. Johnny says, finally, this is a team to get behind. Come on, England, from a neutral. Bellingham is going off now. And surely this will be Mainu. Took his goal well in off the post. I didn't see who came on. No, Spence. South Korea could cause a problem for Mexico. Well, I sort of. I don't want to upset Mexican fans, but this is why tomorrow's game at 2 a.m. is quite big for England. I know it's in the future, but if Mexico top their group and we top our group, there's a very big chance that we'll play Mexico in the last 16. And they have an incredible record there. And that'll be a difficult game. So if South Korea were to beat Mexico tomorrow and top the group, then we wouldn't play Mexico if we top our group. We would play South Korea in Mexico, which would still be a difficult game, but it wouldn't be the equivalent of a home game. So I'm looking forward to that tomorrow because it has a very big impact on England if you think long term. Why are England managers obsessed with Pickford, says Albert? I mean, I've given up that one a long time ago. I've never rated Pickford. And nobody's ever been able to dislodge him, so I just accept that he is England's goalkeeper now. Adam says, Spence bothers me. I don't think he should be anywhere near the squad. To be fair, he does tend to... I mean, I know he's a Spurs player, but he does tend to do all right in an England shirt. B-Train says Spence is better than Messi. I'd love to just catch him on the break. Kane's played the full 90. I would hope at some point, you know, maybe a James Trafford or someone will dislodge him. I mean, how old is Pickford? Look, he's okay, but he can be a bit of a liability. Eze! Great save by their keeper. The Croatian goalkeeper has had a worldie. He really has. Jordan Pickford is only 32. Oh, my God. He could do another 2 World Cups. Max says, what's your opinion on Chalobah going? I trust Tuchel. I'm not joking. That Croatia keeper has been brilliant for them. Croatia on the attack. Good play by O'Reilly. And Rashford clears it. What's your opinion? I've done that one. Why England managers obsessed with Pep? Finally done that. We're winning the tournament, Mark. Come on. Thanks for all your follows, by the way. Danny on TikTok and Princess of and oh God. Cressida says take Stones off and bring on Dan Burn. I'd rather not. Ooh, Pickford. We got there in the end. Max says Chalobah is versatile and he can play centre-back and right-back. Look, I think people get over the top about the squad and, you know, the selections because ultimately we know who the best 15 players are and he did pick those players. The people that people were moaning about really are the latter squad players. And people like Cole Palmer and Phil Foden, they'd have been in this squad if they played well enough. Lots of people getting nervous in the chat. Look, I've watched lots of games of football through my life, as I'm sure many of you have. It would not surprise me if there was a sting in the tail here, because at 3-2, we've had so many chances to make it 4-2 and kill the game, and their keepers played really, really well. It wouldn't surprise me. Encouraging opening match, says Brian. It will be if we get the win. I'd be very happy with today if we get the win. But you know what? In a way, we always talk about France and Brazil in the past and Germany and other countries and the players that they haven't picked. That's not normally a thing with England. So, oh, come on. Square it to Rashford. Go on, Rashi. Oh, he's on his left. He's on his right. Yeah! Rashi! Rashford! Rashford! 4-2. England. I tell you what, start him instead of Gordon. United. He doesn't play for Barcelona. He plays for United. 4-2. It's over. And England have sent a message out here that we are here to do business. And I did say to you at half-time, I fancied us in the last few minutes to catch them on the break. And there we did. Lovely play by Saka. Rodgers played it in. Good tackle, but then Saka's there. First time pass into Rashford. And he wasn't going to do anything other than score. I tell you what, I'm very, very excited by this England performance. 4 goals against Croatia. I thought this would be low scoring as well. 4-2 against Croatia. in the opening game. The confidence we'll take into Ghana as well from this is going to be great. How far do you realistically see Ancelotti and Brazil going, Mark? So Sanaj, look, I'm very buzzing about England here, but, you know, I think England can win this tournament. I can't take that back. I've said it before. I don't think Brazil can. 5556 Mazzy says, hold that, you melts that are hating our country and yours ain't even there. Beardy says, the likes of Germany will destroy this England defence. Mate, we're just going to take it each game as it comes. Gahey's on now for Stones. We're going to take it each game as it comes. But it's coming home. No, I won't do that yet. No, look, I'm not going to over it. I think this has been a fantastic performance by England. I am excited by it, but it's one game, and obviously, you know, Croatia might go and lose to Panama and Ghana and be shit. It's the first game. I don't think that will happen. I think this is a statement win for England, and I think we'll take a lot of confidence from it. And what I have seen in previous World Cups is that the mood can get impacted by the reaction to certain results, and that can, you know, play on the mentality of the players. What they're going to have now is a week of confidence from the country and from the fans, and hopefully that will put them all in a positive mindset as well. I think that's really important. Why did the golden generation not win a World Cup, says Eamon? I think tactics. I think Sven was a little bit pragmatic, if I'm being honest. Tuchel's probably the first foreign coach we've gone with that is tactically adaptable. Sven was quite pragmatic. Capello was pragmatic. I always said, people said we should never have another foreign coach after Capello. And I said, but the foreign coaches we've used have been quite boring styles. It's not, having a foreign coach wasn't the problem. Capello and Sven were both predominantly successful in Serie A, playing quite pragmatic football. Go and get a foreign coach who is tactically adaptable and then judge it. And I think that's what we've finally done. Rich says, player ratings. I will do player ratings. I'll do it on my match reaction for you, yeah. Is this World Cup win or fail, says Brian. Mate, I think this World Cup's going to be very difficult to win. You know, sometimes you walk into a World Cup, there's no standout team, the big teams flop. In the opening week, we've seen a hat-trick from Messi, 2 from Haaland, 2 from Mbappe, 2 from Kane. It looks like people are here to turn up. Argentina looked good. France looked very good in the second half. Some of the underdogs look good. I think it's going to be a hard World Cup. It's going to be hard. You know, it would be typical that England play really, really well and don't win it because there's 2 or 3 other big teams. But look, we've just got to take care of our own business. Just Pasty says, I've got no idea how Rashford is almost clubless. Might be coming back to United, mate. Becky says, nice one, Rashford. Come on, England. Why does our shit keeper keep punching the ball, says Eloquent. And that's what happens when our best 2 wingers are on. Come on, England, says AMC. Yeah, but you know what? Maybe it will be Rashford and Saka for Ghana. And maybe one of them will have a bad game and Madueke or Gordon will come on. It's good to have competition for places. Gordon Who says, hello, Earthling. Thank you, pal. Landon and Barley, thanks for your follows on TikTok. We're about to hit the 90th minute here. Here's Saka. Kane's gone down. I don't like that. On the ankle. 6 minutes added on. England controlling the game, says D. Is it true you predict an Arsenal to win the league? Have I not told you this before? Yeah, so right before the season started, and everyone thought Liverpool was going to win the league, I said Arsenal. I've just realised, yeah, I've walked into that. I was really happy about that. Somebody the other day said to me, have you ever been to New York? And I got really excited. And then they said, oh, I'm doing it as a joke. Fucker. Scoring goals, avoid penalties is a big factor, says Stephen. Oh, you know what? I'm glad it's the group stage. We will be in a penalty shootout at some point, and that's going to shit me up. Tommy, big hits. Rowan, thanks for your follows. If you're on YouTube, thanks everyone for tuning in. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, we are on 485,000. We are on the road to 1.5 million. We're only 300 away from 486,000. The countdown is on the road to 1.5 million. Loads of World Cup watch-alongs, loads of content for you. I am going to record a match reaction straight after this game, and that will go up in about 15 minutes. I'll do a player ratings on it as well. So make sure you subscribe for that so you've got your notifications on. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We are going to bring we do player ratings on the United stand, and I'm going to bring player ratings into this because a lot of people have asked for the World Cup. So get ready for that video. Make sure you subscribe, get your notifications ready. That'll be going out soon. Doesn't look like Kane's going to get his hat-trick, but look, 2 goals in the first game. He won't mind being with Havertz and Mbappe, and especially when this is our first and probably our toughest game. I was going to say Croatia on the attack, but we're winning 4-2. Attack all you like. I'm not bothered. Go on, let him have a shot. Does his face look bothered? I'm chill. No, I wasn't. For a minute there, they were on the attack, and I was thinking it's 3-2, and then I just remembered Rashford scored the 4th. Be interesting to see how Croatia do in their other games against Ghana and Panama. But very happy with this. I think it's been and you know what the exciting thing is as well? I know it doesn't massively matter, but the rest of the world will be watching this and going, England look all right. You know, France will be watching this and going, you know what, England look all right. Spain will be looking at it and going, England look all right, you know. I think we need to sort the defence out a little bit, but... big shout out to Boyle Sports, by the way. Thank you so much to them for sponsoring the show. Don't forget that if you want to put a bet on in this World Cup, you can do it with Boyle Sports. Links in the description, or scan the QR code. 18 plus only, new UK and Ireland customers. Terms and conditions are in the description and on screen. Please bet responsibly, be gamble aware. The next game on here on That's Football is going to be as a watch-along, 5 o'clock tomorrow, Czech Republic against South Africa. 5 o'clock tomorrow is our next watch-along. We've got 4 for you tomorrow. And as I said, if you fancy a late-nighter on a Thursday night going into the weekend, 2 a.m. tomorrow night, I'm doing South Korea, Mexico. Very important because it'll be a good atmosphere because Mexico are one of the hosts. And South Korea played very well in their game as well. But in a way, as an English fan, as much as I like Mexico, it might be an idea for South Korea to win that, because if Mexico top the group and we top the group, we would play each other in the last 16 in Mexico in the Azteca at altitude, and they have a very good record there. So we might actually want South Korea to win that. Oh no, great block, Harry Kane. Nearly 4-3. Now we break away, could be 5-2. Rashford, Saka, Rashford. Oh, that's dangerous on the break. Savage says this is the best World Cup ever. Harry Kane, don't be injured. What did he do? Hopefully he's all right. He's all right, yeah. Right, I'm going to put this back down. Well, look, thanks everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure. Obviously, we've been doing a lot of watch-alongs anyway, but it's always better when it's your own country, and it's probably better to watch when it's my country as well, because it matters to me. And as you said, I said, what is the defence doing holding its cock on the second goal? So yeah, enjoyed it. We need to protect Kane. We definitely do need to protect Harry Kane. He's absolutely essential to what we're trying to do here. And he nearly had a chance for a hat-trick there. Quite humid tonight. David Kibe, thanks for the follow on TikTok. Kane was awesome, says 2GOAT. I think that is the final whistle. Sweden versus England, the final. What do you reckon, says Ritu. Stop counterattacks and other nations won't worry, says Ross McRae Magician. Shout out everyone else who needed a card for a bet, says Cosmos. No yellow cards. We're missing Harry the Hoover, says Albert. Unfortunately, we're not. Have a good night's sleep, Mark. Well deserved. Yeah, I'm getting an early one tonight. We don't care. You predicted Arsenal. It's boring now, says Isaac. And much love from South Africa. What a game, says Jeng. I'm at KFC and they have it. It's coming home playing, says Scrapper. And Sami says, England fans, genuine question. Assumption that 02-010 golden generation had the best squad. 02 Brazil and 10 were legendary. Spain. In 06 it had such depth. They left Maldini at home, lost Nesta and had De Rossi suspended and even used Del Piero and Inzaghi sparingly. I think, look, you can have a great squad, but if you haven't got a great coach, I think Southgate should have won a Euros and he didn't. Ian Carlton says, this is the best opening game in a tournament England have had. I like the fact that Tuchel only took players based on how he wants to play and not reputation. What a comment, Ian. What a comment. What a performance by Anderson. What is Sir Jim and Jason doing, says Arshan. Perhaps the hardest opening game. Promising start, says Derry. You might not like this comment, Mark, but Tuchel got it right. Questionable at first, but certainly put them back together. I like that comment. It's like, no, I don't like Southgate, Slow Sports News. I love Tuchel. I love Tuchel. I think it's a great result. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Please do subscribe on YouTube, if not only because I'm going to be uploading a very passionate player rating and match reaction in about 10 minutes. So if you are subscribed and got your notifications on, you'll see it. If not, you won't. And thanks everyone on TikTok as well. We are back tomorrow at 5 o'clock for a four-game watch-along day. We'll have a 2 a.m. for you tomorrow with South Africa and Korea as well. The home of watch-alongs, the home of the World Cup. It's, for me, the best World Cup opening week we've ever had. It's been incredible. I'll speak to you all later. Take care.